So we said, B'ezrat Hashem, today is the 21st of Elul, third day of the week of Tuesday, third day of the week of Parashat Shabbat, Parashat Nitzavim. So we started yesterday, Shutafut, right, for partnership. We didn't mention Haggah. We stopped right before the Haggah, right, where we said that if there was a partnership, the main concept, so far we're learning, that the Jew and the Goy, they must set up front the rule of separating a day for a day. A Goy works on Shabbat, you work on Monday, and now all the profits could be split. However, if that wasn't done, and a Jew became religious, we said yesterday, in the middle of a partnership already that existing. So we said in that case, let's say a profit of a week was $25,000, we divided it to 25,000 to 7. A Goy takes against the Shabbat that he worked, and then the 6 days, so the 25,000 divided to 7, that will give you about $3,100. So the Goy takes $3,200, whatever it is, to his pocket. And then the rest of the money is split into 6, and that's split half and half. And it comes out to me that the Jew is making less money, and of course that's the saving of him being partnered with the Goy, because now the Goy there has to be some kind of significant difference. That's the point. If before the partnership you dissolved and you said a Goy works on Shabbat, you work on Monday, now it's even. Now it's even. So in that case, you take $25,000 for that week, split half and half, $12,500 each. Halas, everybody's happy. But if it didn't happen, didn't happen, you take 25,000 divided into 7. Take that $3,500, 3,200, whatever the leftovers are. The Goy takes off up from the front. That's for Shabbat. The rest is 6 divided into 6, and now the Jew is allowed to keep that money. Haggah. Let's go into Haggah. Read it, please. ויש מתירים
ויש מתירים השכר בדיעבד
אפילו לא היתנו וחלקו סתם. So Haggah right away says, no, I don't agree with Mishnah Shulchan Aruch, and I'm going to tell you there is Rosh actually who says that in this case, that even though they didn't make a condition before they went into partnership about Shabbat, the condition that we already know, over there, Rosh says you're allowed to be split half and half throughout the whole week's profit. $25,000 is the profit, split half and half, 12,500, b'diavad is okay. Really, this is Rosh. ונראה לי,
said.
So he says, according to what it seems to me, that if there's a big loss, I'm giving you a scenario of $3,500 loss, right? It's actually not $3,500. What are you losing? What is a Jew losing there actually? $1,700. Is it a real loss or not?
It's a loss.
I don't know if he could say a profit or loss.
If you're not making, you're losing.
Oh, that's a Goyish concept. That's not Jewish concept. That's not a Jewish concept. I know. Today everybody says I was supposed to make $5. I made only $1. I lost $4. It's not true. It's not true. That's not a true Jewish thinking. Jewish thinking is when there is a loss, actual loss from your pocket. If there is no loss, and there's no gain in the profit, so I really don't understand what Ramah is talking about here. Unless Ramah is of opinion where that's what the Ashkenazim are getting it today, where they're thinking that you didn't make money, that's a loss. I don't know. Maybe that's what Ramah is saying. I don't know. So let's see Mazliach. ורדידה נקטינה כדעת מרן, שאוסר בכל עניין ועיין בהערות שבסוף הספר. Now, that's what I believe Ish Mazliach is saying here. Ish Mazliach is probably saying that we go with Maran. What, you think Maran had even a thought, but there is no profit of the profit splitting, that Maran tells you go lose money because it's Shabbat, there was work done at Shabbat? I don't believe so. And I believe that's the machloket here. It's going to be the essential machloket between Ashkenazim and Sfaradim, where Ramah is considering a non-profit gaining is a loss. We are totally against that. Jews, the real Torah is, again, we don't spill. First of all, we don't cry about milk that's spilled. Now you're telling me the milk that didn't spill, I have to cry from it, so you didn't get any milk. So not getting milk, you cry? Since when? Since when? And maybe that's going to be the end result. But let's see. Maybe I'm jumping ahead of myself. ויש אומרים
שקל זה,
כל זה, למה יראה אלא בשותפות? Some say no, this is not talking about unless it's a partnership שכל אחד עוסק ביומו. That it's not talking about unless, it's talking about where there was a situation where each individual worked on his own day. אבל עוסקים ביחד כל ימי החול. But if it's a situation where both Jew and a non-Jew work throughout diligently throughout the weekdays, the entire time, both work on that, Shabbat. ובשבת עוסק, האינו יהודי לבדו. But on Shabbat, the goy works only by himself.
On Shabbat,
the goy works entirely by himself. כל השכר. So you're allowed to split with the whole profits throughout the whole week. In that case, right? Some say that Bichlal, if listen, the Jew and the goy work together 6 days, and then on Shabbat the goy did everything by himself. So what is the goy really working for? Maximum profit, because then the goy knows it's going to be split in half and half. So the goy knows he's going to be split in half and half, and he's working on Shabbat. He knows that he's working on Shabbat, that money is going to be split in half. Is he working for a Jew? No. He really doesn't care about the Jew. He really cares one thing, bottom line. He wants max profit. So in this case, where a Jew and a goy work throughout the weekdays, 6 days, and the goy working on Shabbat, he is maximizing the profit, not for you. He is maximizing the profit for himself. The more he sells, the more profit he makes. In that case, since in the goy's mind, it's entirely for his profit, so you could even split Shabbos gains also. You hear what he's saying? You hear the shikah? He says like this. A goy, when he works on Shabbat, he's not working for you. We said till now that when you have a goy, when you hired a goy, he's a partner. Good. He's always working for the maximum profit. In his mind, the more profit he has, the more profit splits. So every penny that he earned on Shabbat is not for you. Lechatchila, it's not for you. Yes, you come and you're grabbing out of it, says the Ramah. It's fine, because he didn't work it for you. You hear the idea? He's working for himself, and so therefore, even though that on the weekday there was no day off that you took off, says in that case, still going to be allowed for you to take money, because the money, the profit of Shabbat is not for you. You have a gain out of it, but it's not made for you.
That's the
nikuda. That's the nikuda. That's the nikuda. No, not so easy. This is Ramah talking so far. Because remember, Maran is not like that. Maran says if you didn't make a condition, and the goy is not taking off during the weekday, you're not allowed to split on Shabbat. He told you, in that case, the goy takes the 1/7 of Shabbat to his pocket. That's Maran.
If a boy doesn't take off a day, he
yeah,
doesn't take off Sunday.
Right. If he doesn't take off a Sunday, Shabbat,
He's working on Sunday.
yeah, and he's working all weekdays. All the other 6 days, he's working with you. And Maran, according to Maran, you have to take off the 7th and give it to the goy, and then split the rest. Not to have any ana'ah of pleasure of Shabbat, of income. Ramah says no. Some say that look at that. Now we didn't know what he's asking. He explains the Ein Yehudi. Continue.
Do you want to look at this Mazliach, number 2?
Number 2. One second. Before we go, let's just finish this. Then we'll go to number 2. The Ein
Yehudi.
He's working for himself. The entire gain is, or the entire labor, the profit is all for himself. And
you're not forcing him.
Good. Continue. Here, explaining.
Israel
נהנה במלאכתו בשבת.
במלאכתו בשבת.
כיוון
שאין המלאכה מוטלת
עליו לעשות.
עליו לעשות.
It says, since the profits that come from Shabbat have zero reliability on the Jew to perform any tasks. Since the Jew has no the profit, that's right, he's not involved at all. So he says in that case, the Jew can have pleasure from that money.
Because he's not involved?
That's right. Because he's not involved. ומכל מקום,
מכל מקום לא ייטל
איתו שכר שבת
שבת אלא
לבהבלה
בהבלה
עם שאר הימים. עם שאר הימים. But, he says over here, very important in Kedar Rama, if the profits are split every night, he's not allowed to take up Shabbat, anything. If the profits are split
every day,
every week, yes. Every day, no. Okay? Depends on the partnership.
meaning if they're taking like a daily salary.
If they're taking a day, no. If they're taking, it's not a salary because it's not, there's nobody.
If they're splitting every day,
every
it's like
night,
salary.
they're
It's like
splitting
salary.
profits. That would be a problem at Shabbat, because now you could see really vividly that the Jew got a $1,500 deposit in his bank. Where's the $1,500? Because there was $3,000 profit on Shabbat. That's a problem. But if
Let's look at-
it's all mixed in for the weekly, and now it's split, that's not a problem. Okay.
We're still doing, yeah. We're
That's the Rama. Cholek on Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch says doesn't have a problem. He doesn't have any. He doesn't make any chilukim. He doesn't make any differentiations.
No, I'm gonna have to go, but I just want to check the Ish Mazliach.
Oh, let's do Mazliach. What? You already have to go?
Yeah, check the
Ma Habibi, you stay till 9:30. Sometimes I see you. It's 8:45 already in
I
your
missed
watch.
yesterday because I got
Okay, so you-
carried away. I missed my chavruta. I have 9:15. I have a chavruta.
Okay, והכף החיים, however, כף החיים כתב שלדעת מרן גם בכהי גם נעשו. So I just told you, what I was telling you, the Maran was arguing in Ramah, so כף החיים is pointing out that's exactly those same words. ולכן העתיק לשון הרמב"ם בסתם, he brought down over there Rambam, דמשמע מיניה שאף אם עוסקים שניהם כל ימי החול, והגוי בשבת אסור. Over there it's clear that if they both working throughout the whole weekdays, for the 6 days, but on Shabbat only the goy does work, it's still going to be asur to take anything from, any profit from that. ושכן כתבו נהר שלום ומטה יהודה, עיין שם. So he brings down all the other poskim who told you, basically, what I told you outside, they're telling you inside right now, that if there is such a scenario, like Ramah is painting, that even though the goy is doing all the labor, and the Jew is not, there will be allowance because the goy is concentrating on himself, he doesn't concentrate on the Jew at all. But according to Shulchan Aruch, says no, he doesn't agree with that, because specifically, primarily, because all the things that the goy knows, he's in his mind that he's doing for you also. That will be, if that will be the real reason, we'll learn, hopefully, tomorrow Mishnah Berurah will explain to us more, elaborate. Thank you for sticking out. And yes, sometimes I go, you ask me a question, sometimes we go on a side note. I cannot let it go. I cannot let it go. I have to answer every question. All right, if I have an answer. I'll make a big, have a wonderful profit today, make a lot of money without any problem, any headaches, only b'shalva.